big-time events in South Jersey sports talk present the Rancocas Valley Red Devils and the West Jersey Football League. This live coverage is presented by Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro-Dam and the community-minded businesses of Mount Holly and Southern New Jersey. Now, to the field. Here are Tony Blum and Dave Klemic.
Good evening and welcome to Rancocas Valley Football. This evening, the Red Devils on the road to take on the Panthers of Camden. My name's Tony Blum, along with my broadcast partner Dave Klemic, and this should be something special here tonight. Lots of speed on both sides.
Yep, just got down the field and had to take a look at it for myself, and standing right there on the field, you can just see the kids. I mean, the wind was blowing off these kids. They're so fast.
So right now, the coin toss going on. And we're just about set for the start of this game. And we are going to be set for the start of this game, the opening kickoff. Camden home to Pennsauken. The Panthers 5 up and 1 down. And, of course, thus far, it's unbeaten Rancocas Valley. And we're going to be back with the opening kickoff in just a moment.
Looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle? Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mount Holly and 24/7 at millerford.com.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural thin veneer stone and custom cut stone. We can help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver it all. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply, downtown Mount Holly, since 1901.
All right, the playing of our national anthem by the marching band of Camden. And Dave, this should be a lot of excitement in this game. A lot of speed on both sides. Both coaches confident in what they're doing.
Yeah, and I start off every game with the same thing: chills. Band's awesome. This band is awesome. I watched them in the pregame, and they were just so much fun. I got the chills just like every time. This team's going to show off a ton of speed. Rancocas Valley has speed as well, but these guys, I mean, I'm just looking at it's like a track team, and they are a track team. I just looked at all their times, looked up, like there's 4 or 5 of them that run under 11 seconds in the 100, so we should see a ton of speed today.
And you know a little bit about that yourself, right?
A little bit.
And not only that, but Coach Savage, of course, like Old Home Week, a graduate of Rancocas Valley, and he's done very well here at Camden, and they're 5-1 on the season. Rancocas Valley is 7-0, but Camden is a formidable opponent. I mean, Lenape was their toughest test thus far. This might be equal to that here.
Yeah, I had a fun conversation with Coach Savage down on the field, and I said, what are you going to do? How do you plan on, how do you game plan and practice for a guy like Iverson Clement during the week? And he goes, in the nicest possible way, he goes, they're going to have their own set of problems with our speed, so, we're not worried about it. It's like, like you said, a lot of confidence in their teams. So, my hat's off to him. Being so confident, even knowing he's going to be quoted on air, and he's a fun guy to talk to down there. Montclair State guy, too. Played in the NJAC, all-conference football player himself, so he's got a ton of experience being on the field. And knowing how to deal with these type of situations and trying to contain a player like Iverson.
Matlock and Iverson Klemic are back. Stephen Jones with a kickoff. Picked up by Matlock at the 20, starts to his right, looking to sweep the right side. He has room across the 30, in a foot race. He's extending. He could go all the way at the 30, at the 20. He takes it the distance. Matlock with the 80-yard touchdown, unless there is a marker, and I'm looking on the field to see if there is a marker, and there is right around the 43-yard line of Camden.
And it wasn't necessary unless I think that he was gonna win that battle anyway. It's gonna come back.
Well, we talked about excitement, Dave, and can't get more exciting than that on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, I was jumping up over here. Oh, that.
So let's see if this was an after the touchdown. Take a look at the it is 6-0. Okay, so the touchdown does count.
That might have been a sideline penalty.
I think you're right. Prescavage to attempt. Teams are lined up and set. Gene to hold. The snap and the boot. And it is good. So just that quickly. Rancocas Valley on top. We're going to call it a 85-yard TD run by Matlock. The point after was good by Prescavage, and 7-0. And we've played 14 seconds. Here in this first quarter of play, Rancocas Valley is on top of Camden. So if you're Rancocas Valley, you can't really ask for more than that. Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day is proud to support Rancocas Valley football. Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day, an annual not-for-profit event established in 1998 as a way to financially support area youth programs. Everything from Pop Warner football to Mount Holly Library. The 21st annual Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day coming in May. Check out the details at onlc.com/pro day.
Ty Matlock's trying to make his stance about him wanting to play a little football. He just did that.
The kick taken right about the 20-yard line, forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So Camden will set up shop right around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Ty Matlock wants to play some football. That's how you start getting on the field. He's a junior and probably doesn't get too much time. He has so many superstars in front of him, but that was a great play. Way to start a game for Rancocas Valley.
Premier Wilson is the quarterback. Najir Edwards is the leading rusher on this team. Together they combine total yards, 330 yards per game. Impressive. Wilson's going to keep it himself off the left side. Picks up 1 or 2.
Wilson on the carry, short gain.
One thing Coach Houseman told us, Dave, is that Camden's a little different in how they run that read option, in that they pull their tackles, not their guards. So we made sure in practice they were really aware of that.
And normally your tackle and that tackle is the one that's supposed to protect the blind side of the quarterback. On your tackles, and they're going to get the hard pursuit coming in from the outside, not directly up the middle. That could come from linebackers, and you never blitz right up the guard. You blitz through the tackles. So these guys are pretty confident their quarterback has that type of mobility.
He's their second leading ground gainer. Takes the snap, going to throw to the right side, and this one is nearly intercepted. Dangerous throw there. Well, that'll bring up third down. It's coming up to make nearly the pick was Keyshawn Harris. Of course, he's a defensive back, but also an outstanding runner in his own right.
Gotten a couple offers himself now, and he's an impressive player, too. That ball was intended for Corey Palmer, he's a freshman. Number 12, he's a 6 foot, 170-pound freshman, offered by Baylor already. Already offered by Baylor. That's how good he is. They think very highly of him. He's a freshman. Not even through the first couple games. We're about, halfway through the season probably, because they're going to make the playoffs. Offered by Baylor, a very big school.
3rd down and 9. From the 32-yard line, they're down 7-0. And again, up the right side for a gain of 3 by Wilson. Keeps it himself, but he's going to be far short of the first down. They give him a pickup of just 2 yards, so a very impressive defensive series for Rancocas Valley.
And Camden has only punted 10 times this season, so it's not a great part of the field to do it, but with only 10 punts and Iverson Clement to return, this might be a good time to throw a fake in there.
Jawan Hudson with the snap. The boot, not a good one off the side of his foot. It's going to go out of bounds somewhere around the 47-yard line. And again, we don't know if they were doing that intentionally to keep it away from Clement, but a lot of teams have seemed to end up doing that.
Yeah, it looked like it went off the side of his foot, but that I would prefer to just be over the 50-yard line, keep the ball out of Iverson Clement's hands, and they've already had a little trouble on special teams here already. They already poked a big hole in that, and that's going to give that special team some confidence. Probably the best thing just to get the ball out of bounds.
Bryce Mangina is the quarterback. Iverson Clement lines up as the receiver to the left, and the give straight up the middle, powering forward to nearly the midfield line. And Camden says there was a fumble, but no indication by the officials. That was Iverson Clement, who lined up in the backfield, pardon me. That was Watson lined up to the left side.
Yeah, Coach Savage says they think they can keep Iverson contained, and they want to keep him them to throw. They're trying to make them throw the ball. So
here's Clement looking to sweep the right side, makes the turn upfield, now pulling away, cuts back to his left, runs the tackler, and he's inside the 30. And again, very patient there was Clement as he just took it to the right side, and then when he saw the opening, put the foot on the ground and straight north and south.
Yeah, we talk about those players that have that. I don't even know that you can coach that in a running back. It's just something that you know how to do. You can coach a lot of things. Coaching instincts like that, it's nearly impossible.
So first down of the 29 of Camden. The band is just to our left, so that's what you're hearing. Again, Clement looking to cut it back. Appears there's a marker on the field as well. Unless that was a piece of equipment. It's a holding call against Rancocas Valley. That'll cost him 10. So the ball's moved back to outside the 40, 41-yard line. That brings up a first down and 20. Right in motion to the right side. Clement looking to spin away from trouble. Stutter stepping. He's going to be hemmed in and thrown for a 5 or 6 yard loss. So that is why Coach Savage was talking about his team speed, that they're going to try to keep him hemmed in, and he's had a big game, but not there.
Yeah, he's going to get his big gains between the tackles. As soon as you get outside, they're going to have a lot of speed on the outside to contain him from getting to the sideline. So his ability to have patience and push the ball at the middle is going to be, I think, where they're going to have success today.
Second down and a bundle. They need the 21 for the first. The ball is at the 48. Second down and 27. Mangine with a long count, going to throw here. Sets, throws to the right side, and this one is caught inside the 40-yard line and run out of bounds.
Mark Sykes showing up. We haven't seen him called his name very much besides special teams in the past couple games, and then just shows up with a big play right there. That was probably made up about 15 yards in that on a corner route that went short. He just lofted up over his head, and Mark Sykes being a big factor when it counts.
5'5", but extremely quick. So now 3rd yard line. Klemic to the left side, has room, turns the corner, and he's going to be run out of bounds inside the 20-yard line, right about the 15-yard line, and that's good enough for the first down. So there you have a situation where they're, 2nd and 27, one pass in Iverson Klemic, and you got it.
These are plays that we have not seen in the playbook yet. I have not seen Coach pull these out once. He was probably trying to hang on to these till the playoffs, and some of these motions, you'll see some of the shifts in the background to try to change things, move Iverson around, and give them a different look than they're used to. And there's another shift. We just haven't seen these things prior to this, and it's working.
Ball at the 15-yard line, off left tackle for a couple. So they're kind of mixing it up, taking it to the outside, running it between the tackles, and for the most part, they've had success. We did see that one loss, but other than that, they've been positive yards.
Yeah, and we should see Iverson spend some time at wide receiver as well. You'll see him probably motion out a few times. You can see the shifts they've done already, and having Danny Condris out, they're probably going to use Mark Sykes a little bit more, which we've already seen him already right now in the last series.
So they say no gain on that last carry. 2nd and 10 from the 15. This one's to Klemic, off right guard, and he's inside the 5 and near the 3. What appears to be another first down. Let's see where they mark it. So he's going to be just about a yard or 2 short, and a 3rd down and 2. 4 down territory. Third down and a pair. From the 8-yard line. Long count by Mangine under center. Takes the snap. Klemic to the right side for the first down, but also a flag on the play.
I'm waiting to see what that call was, but it looked like a cut block. It came in from the defensive side, but that's usually where they throw those cut block penalties.
That's what it was.
So the rule on the cut block is that you can't cut a guy below his waist if he's in towards the center. You can cut away from the center, but not towards the center. So especially if a guy's engaged, you can't cut him below the waist if another player has their hands on him. That's to protect the knees of the defensive lineman. It's a good penalty.
So the ball moved back now outside the 20-yard line to the 21.
Any of those penalties to protect the players, I totally support.
3rd down now off the big 15-yard walk-off. Mangine with a pump fake. Now rolls right, being rushed, throws just to get rid of it. Incomplete.
That's intentional grounding. They're going to call that every single time. He has to get outside the tackles before he throws that, and I think the tackle was just running just inside of him, or just outside of him.
Well, we'll see what the indication is right here.
Yeah,
and a loss of down.
Man, these penalties are killing them right now. They have an opportunity right now to really demoralize Camden right now with going up 14 points in the first quarter, and these penalties are killing them.
Well, the thing about this penalty is that it's a loss of down as well.
They're in punting territory right now. Nothing a coach hates worse than penalties and a little bit of undisciplined play. And I know Coach Hausman is ripping his hair out right now.
So they have a... Oh, there it is, 4th down. Ball at the 35-yard line of Camden. Here's Mangine, steps up in the pocket, now throws on the run, and it looks like the intended receiver, Watson, was being held or interfered with, but do I see a flag or is there a flag?
That's a flag. That'll be a 15-yard penalty on a pass interference there. I wasn't sure if Bryce had stepped over the line of scrimmage when he threw that ball, too. There's 2 things that could be penalized right there, possibly. We'll see, but that was definitely pass interference. There we go. $15-yard penalty, but there's still going to be 4th down. Now, this music that's going on here, if you ever want to see something fun, me, Mike, and Tony are dancing up here in the booth. That's what we're doing the whole time. You got to see this band. This is unbelievable.
Well, one thing you can say about this band, Dave, is they are tired after the game because they do not stop playing.
Oh, they're unbelievable.
4th down now, 4th, and we'll call it 17. So it looks like Vrskavich is going to be attempting a field goal from the 27-28 yard line. That would make it a 38-yard attempt. His long on the season is 32. So looks like there was a penalty, or was there?
This is only his 3rd field goal attempt on the season, I think.
Well, now they move it back to the 33-yard line, so it'll be a 43-yard attempt for Vrskavich. This is by far his longest attempt. Mangine to hold it. The snap, the kick, it's got the distance, and it is good.
Easily good.
Easily is right.
Vrskavich, he's got a leg on him, man. I really... They're going nuts over there on the sideline. He's a heck of a kicker. When he can boot the ball off the tee and be in the end zone, I mean, almost on every kick, he's something special. He's a junior, only 5. You see, they listed him at 5'8", 135, and if that's true, I think he looks a little bit bigger than that in his uniform, and he has a huge right leg. All of that's in his leg.
Cleared by 10 yards further back, Dave. No question about it.
That's a 50-yard field goal.
When you're planning improvements to your home, there are many reasons to choose Fryance. Windows, doors, awnings, carpeting, you name it. At Fryance, you'll get outstanding personal service with free estimates, competitive prices, quality products, professional installation. Open Tuesday through Friday till 5, Saturdays till 4. Fryance, the region since 1896. That's a long time. They're at 21 High Street in Mount Holly. Phone 800-236-4367. That's Fryance. Vrskavich kicking to the right side, bounces down right about the 20-yard line. Across the 30 to the 35-yard line, so good field position for Camden. It's Dante Hurd on the return.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball's at the 37-yard line.
10-0 now. Splitting out to the right side is Palmer. Wilson, the quarterback. Long count here. Takes the snap off the right side for very little, if any, gain. And there is a flag as well. Edwards on the carry, but nothing there at all.
Now, here at the bottom of the screen, Tony, we have Keon Taylor is covering Corey Palmer and giving him a ton of space, or in what you call a deep cover 3. They're giving him, they're literally saying, throw the underneath route at us. But they're giving a lot of respect deep now. So, and that was on first down, and they have all that slant area right there to run. I kind of saw him peeking over there, and if I was a player, if I was a coach, I'm looking at the slant route on the very next route. So let's see how I do with my Tony Romo impression. All right, on the play predictor, and this should be a slant coming from Corey Palmer, number 12.
On a first
see how I do.
And 20, by the way, 10-yard walk-off for holding. Wilson with the snap, looking for the quick throw to the left side, and cut down quickly. Coming up to make the stop was Taylor. Really did a nice job of defeating the block there, Dave. Getting inside of him and making the stop. I thought there might have even been a hold there.
Maybe hit him a little early, which would be a pick, and that's illegal, or blocking before the ball is caught. But they threw it kind of laterally, so it's like a gray area.
Ball's at the 27-yard line.
Second down. They need the 48. Ball is at the 27-yard line. It's been all Rancocas Valley thus far. Second and 19. Wilson's going to take it to the left side, and nothing there. He fumbles the football, but I think he was down. And he was. Looked like he had a hole there, Dave, and then all of a sudden it closed him by the shoe tops. He's limping coming off.
Long way to go, and they're covering the other linebacker in so they can run that deep cover 3 and just let them have everything underneath right now. So they're going to stuff that run.
Wilson, third down and a bunch. Call it 18 for Camden. Trailing at 10-0. To Edwards left side. Edwards caught from behind on pursuit.
Edwards on the carry. Short gain, 4th down and 15.
That was Swoop, one of the outstanding defensive players, coming from behind to knock down Edwards. So they played conservative there on the 3rd and 18, and now 4th down again.
They really do have a productive defensive linebacker crew. Between Swoop and Edric and Sapp, it's 3 of the best defensive players I've seen this season. And Sapp, he's got some swagger today. He's been getting more confidence every week. I've just seen him be more confident in the way he hits, and he plays back on he'll play back on pass plays and push up on run plays, and he's had a couple sacks. He's been very impressive.
Procedure a call against Camden, so that'll push him 5 yards further back. First punt by Hudson, out of bounds off the side of his foot at the near sideline. Of course, here's Iverson Clement moving up to just about the midfield line to receive it. The snap, the kick, much better this time. It'll drive Clement back. Makes the catch, starts out to his left, avoids a tackle at the 30. He's to the right side, slips a tackle across the 40, and he's going to be dumped at the 42-yard line.
Let's talk about how he just one-handed that punt return right there. Let's just talk about how Coach Hausman said he has the greatest hands he's ever seen on an athlete, not just any athlete. He just one-handed a punt return. That was a good punt. They had like a little bit of a spiral to it, and he just one-handed that in the middle of a football game. Just show you how much confidence he has in his own hands.
Confidence and very. And Gene, the marker down. Side off his end position is Watson. And a marker is down again. Seen a lot of flags in this game thus far. A lot of penalties.
I think he got hit late there. I think he'll be Allen Watson was a great run right there on a reverse, and I think this kid has a tremendous upside, and he should be a big factor in today's game as well, because they have a lot of focus on Iverson, and he's one of those kids he's got all kind of athletic ability, and he's just kind of a ticking time bomb. As soon as there's anything that eyes are off of Watson at all, he's going to be wide open. was a great run on that reverse.
Yeah, they picked up the flag, so there was no penalty.
Okay.
So the ball is at the 48-yard line of Camden. Off the Watson run. Here's Klemic being patient. Cuts to his right. He's to the 45-yard line. Picks up 3. Second down for Rancocas Valley and Dave. Surprisingly, it's been all Rancocas Valley, very one-sided thus far. Game's not over.
Yeah, and they're one of those teams that they have the ball, nothing, and then all of a sudden a very explosive play takes them and puts them right back in the game.
Here's Klemic circling the left side. May have picked up a yard, just ran out of real estate. And he seems to know when to give it up, just go out of bounds, and when to try to run over somebody.
Yeah. That's a swagger that you get from, having that much, having carried the ball that many times, and you get to know those things, when to pick. You choose your battles and live to play another day, or if it's a really important situation, he'll just come out and make the big play, depending on the situation. But, only somebody that has carried the ball that many times knows when to use it, when not to.
Well, a penalty walk-off against Rancocas Valley moved it back to the 43-yard line. I believe that was a holding call against the Red Devils. Second down and 20. Here's Mangine with time. Throws deep down the right sideline, and this one is caught. Caught.
That was unbelievable play. What a catch. He just pulled it right out of the defensive back's hands.
Little Iverson-esque. Remember a few weeks ago he did the exact same
that was
thing.
Unbelievable. And as far as they've been pushed back, they are still picking up first downs on big chunks.
We'll call it the 13-yard line. The throw over the middle is complete. No, they call it incomplete, pardon me. So they place it down at the 12-yard line. Second down. Klemic up the middle to the goal line, and he's in for the touchdown. Kind of got lost there, David. I didn't even see him. All of a sudden, he popped out the other side.
He put a hand on the ground twice to get into the end zone on that one. I thought he was down. Being resourceful.
So now 16-0 as Prescavage will attempt. Snap and the boot. And it is good.
We are still in the first quarter, and they are all over Camden right now. So, I did not expect it to go this lopsided. And like I said, though, Rancocas starts doing things right, and that they've been penalized a ton this quarter. I'd say they got to be penalized almost 90 to 100 yards already this quarter. And Coach has got to clean that up, but they are all over Camden right now.
Well, if you're looking for a taste of New York and South Jersey, look no further than Levita's Pizzeria in Mount Holly. They've got what you want. Open Monday through Thursday until 10:30, Friday and Saturday until 11:30, Sundays till 10. Levita's also delivers. Phone 856-267-8957. Try their all-day specials like 2 large pizzas for $20.99, a large pizza with a dozen wings for $17.99. They have hot and cold sandwiches, baked pasta, stromboli, soup, salads, and so much more. Lavita's Pizza, serving the RV community for over 30 years. Frescavage with the boot. Taken at the 25-yard line, circling to his right. Back the other way is Taplin at the 32-yard line.
Much better on the return coverage by Rancocas Valley, and I said that was a point of emphasis, that I think that's where they need to clean up, Tony, and I think they're doing a much better job. And like you see, they're putting a lot more starters out there during a kickoff, and to respect the speed of Camden, and they're playing it much, much better.
Personal foul appears to be called against Camden. That was Hudson, pardon me, on the return. So 15-yard walk-off, and they're really having their issues here in this first half.
Heart of that defense is there, number 54, Kyle Sapp. He's a quadruplet. Now, where's his other brothers? Because if there was 4 of him, they probably all wouldn't want to go to the same school. They'd be sitting on the bench for each other, really. But Kyle Sapp, great story, that kid.
Yeah, it's really amazing, some of the stories you hear about in high school football. The completion to the left side for 2 or 3. Hudson with the reception. Give him a 4-yard advance. 2nd and 6.
Now, I normally wouldn't say to get out of your game plan, but you're right, 17-0 right now, and I think pushing the ball downfield, you got some very dangerous receivers, and going a four wide receiver go route right now and try to bend it right in between the safeties is kind of what you got to do, and just take one shot deep, just one.
2nd and 6. Wilson with the give, looking to sweep the right side, but there's nothing there at all. Just couldn't outrun the speed of the defense. That was Edwards.
Yeah, they're really going to have to push. They're probably going to have to push the ball downfield just a little bit, because this right now the running is just not working.
So there's a timeout. Oh, that's the end of the first quarter. Okay, I thought the end of the first quarter happened about 2 minutes ago. So that's the end of the first quarter, with Rancocas Valley on top, 17-0. Highway Tire and Auto Service stocks a wide selection of tires for your vehicle. Passenger tire inventory. You'll get the best replacement tire for your car, light truck, or SUV right now. But there's more. Highway Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated for over 50 years. They also offer specials on oil changes, alignment, and brake service. Highway Tire and Auto Service, 1661 Route 38 in Mount Holly. Phone them 609-267-5300 or visit them online at highwaytires.com. 17-0. Rancocas Valley, a dominating first quarter of play. Camden facing a 3rd and manageable. Third and 2 from the 25. Long count here by Wilson. Takes the snap, the toss, looking to sweep the right side, making and picking up the first down to the 29-yard line. That was Hudson on the carry on the toss. Their first down of the ball game.
What I've noticed from watching film on both of these squads now, and I'll tell you where I think it's we're going to see the most lopsided play, the linebacker play. I'll get back to that.
First down at the 29-yard line. Wilson going to throw quickly to the right side. It's complete across the 30 to the 31-yard line, so pickup of 2, maybe 3.
Now, if you look down the roster, both rosters, and you see kind of the different size and weights of the team and some of the athleticism, you can't really tell unless you looked at like a combine numbers. But the Rancocas Valley defense just has a lot of those mid-range linebacker-sized people, whereas Camden's going to have a bunch of 5'9", 165 guys, tons of speed out there, but they don't have those mid-range linebackers that weigh 215, 220, like Sapp and Edric. Those guys are just going to outweigh and athleticism those guys in the second level right there.
They do give him an advance of 4 yards. Here's Wilson throwing quickly to the left flat, but nobody there at all. Ricky Torres had the best shot at it, but wasn't even close to him.
So if I saw a lopsided portion of this game, that's where the play is. And they've really played, and they've really beat a lot of teams defensively from that second, those 4 linebackers they have, and they're just really outplayed everybody.
Now 3rd down and 7 for Camden. The Panthers on the short end of a 17-0 score against Rancocas.
So far, Camden's had the best uniforms that I've seen, too.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Love the gold. Wilson going to take it himself. Not a chance. Losing yardage.
Keyshawn Harris got in on that one, too.
Loss on the play.
So that's going to bring up 4th down. So after getting just 1 first down, their first of the ball game, it took them till the second quarter. That ended quickly.
Yeah, really tough to compete with this linebacking core of Rancocas Valley. I'll talk about it till the end of the half, and then I'll shut up.
But they're very well
really
coached,
good.
too.
Yes, they are.
Very
well
coached.
Well coached.
Hudson will be kicking. Klemic back to receive it. Again, the left footer gets off a good kick, coming right down to Klemic at the 35. Stutter stepping in and out. Now makes the turn along the sideline and bumped out of bounds into Camden territory at around the 48-yard line. So he's there 1 minute and gone the next.
Yeah, and the difference between Iverson and other guys that just have pure speed, and maybe pure speed, that's why, it doesn't always fit well with the football player, because they can't stop and re-accelerate like Iverson can. The kid is just pure. He's all kind of shifty, and he's got all that speed, too.
And good size at 200 pounds to go with it.
He's as big as a linebacker, as fast as a receiver.
So now you see why Dave consistently says you don't want to kick it to him, because here they are set up in Camden territory, already leading 17-0 at the Camden 46-yard line. Klemic in motion. Mangine's going to keep it himself up the middle. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe a yard.
Yeah, Camden had all kind of penetration on that play right there. I don't know if that was designed for them to let him go through and then draw up the middle. They got a ton of penetration on that play.
So now crossing him up a little bit, Dave, they're going to put Klemic outside and Keyshawn Harris in the backfield, who is also a very good runner.
We're all getting down with this
music.
music.
Starting to get into the band's rhythm. Straight up the middle, across the 45-yard line, inside the 45 to the 44-yard line was Keyshawn Harris.
He's another guy that can do it all. And he's kind of living in the shadow there of Iverson Klemic, which is he casts a big shadow, but Keyshawn Harris can play football, both sides of the ball. As you saw, he had that sack on the last series.
So Klemic now shifting to the side, left side. Now moves back inside to the left wing. Another different formation. Here's Harris, left side. Harris to the 43-yard line, but he'll be short of the first down.
Harris on the carry, short gain.
Yeah, they just have a really, this is a very small linebacking crew here in Camden. I think they're about 160 to 175 linebackers, whereas the Rancocas Valley's linebackers are somewhere between 215 and 225. And Sapp is about 240.
So now 4th down for Rancocas Valley. 4th down and 6. Ball just inside the 45 and the 44. They're going to be going for it right here. So Camden wants to talk it over. Timeout on the field. 7:35 left till halftime. It's all Rancocas Valley. They lead it 17-0. Adams Electrical Contractors are your residential specialists, handling additions, renovations, and basements. Adams Electrical can supply and install generators, indoor and outdoor lighting, ceiling fans, smoke detectors, whatever you need. They offer free estimates and have been in business for over 35 years. Adams Electrical Contractors, 139 Pine Street, Mount Holly. Phone 609-267-8715 or visit them online, adamselectrical.com. 17-0.
Yeah, you can see that in the last play there that Iverson Klemic was drawing a double team. You can see they had 2 corners on him. They had the nickel corner right inside of him and a corner right outside of him. And that was giving Watson on the other side a very one-on-one type of battle. There were the safeties pulled. They got actually 3 guys covering this side of the field, and Watson by himself.
Slot formation to the right side. Klemic on the outside of the slot. The give to Harris up the middle. Very conservative call right there, but thing outstanding, so why risk it?
Yeah, they're getting great play out of their defense, and they say defenses win championships, and I'm going to have to agree with that. Every time you see these great defenses, and they just have to have a decent quarterback in there, someone that could just get the ball downfield a little bit with a couple big key players. But everything about Rancocas Valley it's improved. It's not like they've taken any steps backward. Only thing, the penalties. Penalties are going to have to clean up. Coach is going to go nuts. But they have improved at every facet of the game this year.
At the 43-yard line, Camden down 17-0. Good field position to start it. Here's Wilson. Wilson throws deep to the left side, and this one is almost intercepted. Did he have possession? They say yes, he did, which is Iverson Klemic, and again going Odell Beckham right there with the one-hand interception.
I just can't believe this kid. He just one-handed that interception. He could have caught it with 2, one-handed it just to say, I can do this. That's how good I am.
And, of course, the key right there is in high school and, of course, college as well. Just 1 foot in. Probably wouldn't have counted in the pros, but it doesn't matter. What a great play by Iverson Klemic. He can do it all, as you say.
I'm literally going to, after we're done, I'm going to rewatch this just to see a couple of these plays by Iverson tonight.
Yeah, a lot of players, when the bright lights come on, you can do it in practice, but he just does it like it's no big deal.
I'm really looking forward to watching him as a Gator.
They give to the left side, across the 40 to the 42.
Yeah, they're playing a good Camden's a great team too. They're 5-1 this year, and their only loss was a very good Camden Catholic team, which we talked to Coach Hausman. Coach Hausman said they really played them tough. The score didn't show what the game was really like, but they are a really good team. So they were, this is a testament to how good Rancocas Valley really is. I think they're showing themselves how good they are. They didn't even know that they would play this well against this team.
2nd and 4. Mangine sets, throws deep over the middle, and this one is almost intercepted.
And I know Watson wants that call right there, but I think that was a good no call. He just played in front of him, and I know he's looking over at the ref for the penalty because he did impede his running there, but it's a good no call by the ref.
And a long 3, a short 4. Ball at the 43-yard line. Rancocas Valley. The give to the right side. Breaking tackles is Klemic, and he's going to be thrown out of bounds. Across the 40 at the 42-yard line. Probably got back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all.
And Iverson likes to use that stiff arm too. And he's just that what you like to call the Swiss Army knife of everything that he can do, and he uses the stiff arm, he uses the spin move, he can use, he's got a big range. We call it big effective range because he's got those, long arms and all that speed and quickness, and he just does a lot. There's a lot of stuff that you do. Like, he reminds me of a player, or one of those players whose dad was a real good athlete, or a professional athlete, or something. You're just kind of born with it.
They're going to fake it, and up the middle the run, and this one is going to be very close to the first down. Rancocas Valley says they have it. From where the officials are standing, they are going to get the first down.
That was Kyle Sapp on the carry, and well-deserved. And, man, I just look, if I ever saw what a fullback, fullbacks are not even, they don't even exist anymore. But if there was ever a fullback, Kyle Sapp is a fullback. Number 54, beautiful play. He's one of the star linebackers, but.
So first down off the fake punt. Rancocas Valley continues the drive at the 47-yard line. Mangine. They give to Klemic. There's a marker down, and he is hidden and dropped in the backfield. So penetration there by Camden. They got him in the backfield.
Another penalty against Rancocas Valley. It's probably another cut block because it came in from the defensive side. Oh, that's a hole.
So let's see if they accept this one. They got Klemic for a loss, and you're still going to take the penalty. Okay. Guess they figure we've had them in second and long and third and long before. We want to push them back as far as we can because they just have big playability. First down, the ball moved back inside the 35-yard line to the 34-yard line.
Now, with a Rancocas Valley win tonight, the power points, because of the amount of wins that Camden has had against the competition they've had, is going to boost them probably to number.
With the reception, nice yardage after the catch with a 6'1" receiver.
Yeah. Alan Watson's a heck of a ball player. He just has to have the ball in his hands a little bit. He's not necessary because they have so many other weapons, and why even risk it? But, I think he's got a tremendous upside. He's going to be a great college football player.
Approaching 4 minutes left here in the first half, 17-0. Rancocas Valley on top. Second down and 18. Mangine with time, sets, throws over the middle, and this one is caught, then knocked away. That was Sykes, and are they going to be a targeting?
That's going to be a targeting penalty. I don't, they might pull that flag up. I got him right in the chest, but typically that would be a targeting penalty, because you know what? If you can hit the guy right in the head, you can hit him in the chest like that. You can hit him right in the waist, and these guys are good enough athletes to do that. And I really like the targeting rule. I don't think they're going to get this penalty because they're going to pull that up. Yeah.
They're going to put it back down.
I think it was a clean play. And I think it was a clean play, but anytime they're going to throw the flag immediately, that's their first thought, and then get some discussion from the other referees that might get a better look at it, better vantage point. But they're going to throw it right away as soon as you see a guy get blindly smashed like that.
I think they look at a couple of things, Dave. Number one, did you hit him in the head, but also did you lead with your head?
Yes.
If you lead with your head, with your helmet, so a penalty.
So in that case, great defensive play by.
Yep. Got to be able to knock the ball away. The toss. Klemic. Running over people.
He's a scary running back. Now, the other thing is Mangine actually led Mark Sykes, but hung the ball up there a little bit. Anytime the ball's hung up in the middle like that, you want to go back and yell at your quarterback right there.
So Ethan Jackson will punt for the first time. He was back there to attempt, but of course the fake, and right now timeout on the field. 3:35 remaining in this first half of play. 17-0.
First half, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen,
Rancocas Valley. Parent Chief Chapels has been part of the greater Mount Holly community for more than 180 years. Community service and participation are both part of their heritage. When you have a need for their service, you can call 609-267-0399 at parentchief.com or visit their warm and comfortable offices at 438 High Street in Mount Holly. They're there to help honor the memory of your loved ones. Parent Chief Chapels, a proud supporter of the student athletes at Rancocas Valley High School. So 4th down now, 4th and 9 from the 48-yard line. Jackson to kick it. Wilson to receive it. In at the 15-yard line by Wilson, looking to stutter step, but they have him corralled at the 24-yard line. So Camden will open for business at their own 24-yard line, down 17-0 with 3:27 left in this first half of play. So as you mentioned, Dave, again, coverage has been very good the last few weeks.
That was a point of emphasis for Coach this week. I know they said they were going to work on that, and I talked to Coach down on the field a little bit, and it looks like it's paying off because they're on high alert because of the speed of Camden.
Palmer splits out to the left side, backs to either side of Wilson. Takes the snap to the left side. There's nothing there at all, and being hit and knocked down is Kevin Smith Jr.
Smith on the carry.
Loss on first down.
Loss on the play back to the 20-yard
Anything
line.
on the outside, Dave, is really not working.
No, and again, the linebackers and defensive line there are just, they're just too much to handle for a normal high school line. They're just, you don't have enough size and speed at the same time. That would be, maybe Camden's got more speed than Rancocas Valley, but that mid-range size speed combination of their linebackers is just deadly.
Edwards looking to pick his way off right guard, picks up a couple. But again, it appears like they're all playing their gaps really well.
Yeah.
There's not a big hole, nothing to really run through.
Yeah, and you also get that when you have a lot of confidence in your defensive backs to drop a linebacker down and run a 4-4 type of defense, and then you can spread your guys out and have guys plugging in and right behind them with your linebackers. And Kyle Sapp, that kid is just impressing me more and more. And people are starting to notice. The colleges are starting to notice. The newspapers are noticing, and you can't help but watch number 54 out there and watch his Mike Singletary type of swagger while he's out there.
Here's Wilson. Wilson stepping up, but he's hit from behind on the pursuit, and he's knocked down. I think that was Swoop coming from behind to knock him down. And you see those pursuit types of tackles where they don't give up on the play. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm. And, they can dazzle you, and with the speed and the quickness. And those linebackers just play disciplined football and just contain. Done a great job.
So again, the timeout on the field. 1:47 left. Rancocas Valley wants to preserve as much time as they can, and Premier Barbershop is the place to get your hair cut. They have experienced barbers at Premier who specialize in the latest styles, fades, temple tapers, mohawks, comb-overs, designs, and much more. Premier Barbershop, 14 High Street in Mount Holly. They're a diversified establishment. If you look good, they look good. Get sharp at Premier Barbershop in Mount Holly. So 1 minute and 47 seconds left in this first half of play. And again, Camden will be forced to punt the football, 17-0. Rancocas Valley on top. Hudson will be kicking, and guy named Iverson Clement back to receive it. Hudson's going to be kicking it from his own 5-yard line, off the side of his foot again, and this one hits at the 40, Camden's 40, and out of bounds, somewhere around the 43-yard line. So, again, excellent field position for Rancocas Valley. Already leading it. 17-0. So Rancocas Valley that is back on the field. They will start off at the 44-yard line of Camden. Right tackle steps back. That was Hine, as you saw, set up before the ball was snapped. So 5-yard walk-off against Rancocas Valley, and they have been penalized a ton in this first half.
First and 15.
Even if they do get a win right here, Coach Hausman, I'm afraid to talk to him after the game. He's going to be very mad.
Here's the give to Clement, and he is hit in the backfield and knocked down. Again, good penetration by Camden. Making the stop was Taidan Bamba.
You know, speaking of defense here right now, Camden had a player here named Art Still, an ex-Chief. And I remember, playing in the, our stadium. He was in the Ring of Fame. He's a Camden graduate. Second pick in the draft back in 1973.
Here's Clement again being hemmed in, nowhere to go, and knocked out of bounds. So last few plays, they've done better against Clement.
And I remember reading that Ring of Fame every time and seeing Christian Okoye up there and, Art Still and some of the big names that, from the Chiefs, which is like, it's an old team. It's got it's got a lot of tradition there. And Art Still was one of them. Did not know till today that he was a Camden graduate.
I did, not because of football so much, but because of basketball. I remember Atlantic City played against him in basketball, and he was terrific there. They had a tremendous team. He was like...
They still talk about it. I mean, Charlie Joyner was my he was my wide receiver coach in Kansas City, and he still talks about Art Still and how much of a, as a beast he was.
Great athlete. Third down. They need the 34-yard line of Camden. The ball is at the 41 of Rancocas Valley. Timeout by the officials, or check that. Delay of game, the call against Rancocas Valley. I'd like to see the penalty statistics against the Red Devils in this first half.
Wow. Yeah, you can't hurt this is the type of stuff later in the season that you want to have cleaned up. Now, the thing is, I think with the penalties today, they've had a bunch of different formations. If you've seen, they're splitting 4 wide, they're going to motion shifts and everything, and this is where they're getting a little bit messed up.
Quick pitch to the left side is complete.
One thing that Camden's done a great job is containing Watson. I think they did their homework on Watson, and they say, no matter what, we're not going to leave him by himself with any of our defensive backs, and they have been all over Watson. Good coaching by an ex-RV graduate, Dwayne Savage. I'm sure that he watched the film on Watson, and they saw people get away with not, double teaming him or putting the second or third defensive back on him because you're splitting Iverson out. Well, they haven't been fooled by that at all. Good. That's good film study by Coach Savage.
So fourth down. 57 seconds remain in this first half of play. It's been all Rancocas Valley. They lead at 17-0. Opening kickoff.
They're going to set a record for penalties.
Jackson to kick. Wilson to receive.
Last punt was almost blocked, remember. Very close to being blocked. That's going to get blocked there. Very close.
Kick got it away. Bounces at the 35-yard line. Rolls inside the 25. You're going to be downed at the 21-yard line. So Camden will have 38 seconds to do something with a football.
They're going to have to clean up that punt because that's 2 times they've had a free release one of their gunners there was on just total free release, and the only reason it didn't get blocked is because he just mistimed it. But they got to fix that. And I'm to think long term for everything. Both teams, they're not going to lose a lot of power points, Camden, if they do not win this game. But Rancocas Valley will gain a lot and probably be the #1 seed in South Jersey.
Wilson, the quarterback. Not much time to work. Low snap. Throws over the middle. This one is complete. Stutter snapping to the left sideline, running out of bounds, or will run out of bounds. That's Rice, their leading receiver, his first reception of this ball game. Rice is a 5'8" senior.
And Damon Rice can run a little bit. He's one of those guys I was saying can run under 10 seconds or run under 11 seconds in the 100. He showed off a little bit of that right there, and that was a beautifully thrown seam route to his back shoulder, right where you want it.
Biggest play for Camden in this ball game. At the 49-yard line, their own 49. Slot formation to the right side. Again, the low snap. Wilson tosses to the right side. This one is incomplete. Too low. That was intended for Hudson.
And he floated that ball right there a little bit to the out, which is very dangerous. Normally, if you float a ball going towards the sideline, you leave yourself wide open for that pick six or somebody to undercut that route. But, Premier Wilson does zip that ball. For being only 5'8", 160, he really puts a little zip on the ball. And in that play, he floated it. Very dangerous.
2nd down and 10 from their own 49-yard line. 25 seconds left till halftime.
I'm waiting to see Corey Palmer get the ball a little bit here. This freshman, number 12, down at the bottom, already been offered by Baylor. So obviously somebody's seen something in him and really hasn't seen the ball yet.
Here's Wilson back to pass. Escapes, now rolling to his left, and he's going to run out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Well, he probably was noticed by a guy named Matt Rule.
Oh, yeah,
formerly
that's right.
coached
Who was at
Temple,
Right,
so he
right.
probably has a connection.
That makes a lot of sense. If you're offered as a freshman, typically they know you since you're in grade school, like you've done something tremendous with basketball or track or something, and they kind of know you from the area. So that makes a lot of sense because Matt Rule, what a tremendous job he did at Temple. And I know my mom was a Temple graduate, and she was maybe one of the first times she started watching Temple football again was because of Matt Rule.
Did a great job, no question. Now trying to rebuild Baylor. Wilson rolling right, stepping up, being hit as he throws. He completes it to Edwards, and Edwards heading for the sideline to preserve what time there is.
Edwards on the reception.
That was a great, very athletic play by Premier Wilson there. He jumped up and just kind of did a little Brett Favre impression right there and popped the ball right over Jesse Edrick. That was a great play.
17 seconds remain in this first half of play, so the ball is inside the 35-yard line at the 34.
Now, if they could put some points up on the board right before halftime, it would give them a ton of confidence going into the second half.
And they also receive the second half kickoff.
11 seconds remaining in the first.
11! 1-1!
Technical difficulties on the time.
Yeah, the official looking up here to get the time remaining. It said 17 on the scoreboard, but actually 11 seconds.
We're in one of the most unique atmospheres in this booth today. As you can see, the camera has a few X's on it. That's because we're inside the booth, being that there's only allowed to have 6 people up on top of the booth. So we're inside shooting today. That's not normally how the camera looks, and that's not usually how it sounds in here, but we're making do.
Here's Wilson rolling left off the bad snap, throws on the run, and this one is complete and run out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. Rice makes the reception.
And Damon Rice, a speedster. Now, I think he was one of the state finalists this year. And I think their 4x200 meter team or their 4x100 meter team was one of the state finalists. And all 4 of those receivers are playing football as well.
A penalty,
the runners. Sorry.
Penalty called against Camden, so this one's coming back. Holding the call against the Panthers.
Penalty against the Panthers.
So this probably going to be the final play of the first half. Rancocas Valley has pretty much dominated this first half. This has probably been Camden's best drive thus far, but they're just going to run out of time.
Yeah, they're going to have to throw one deep and hope to they get some points on the board right now.
Ball moved back to the 49-yard line of Camden. First down.
First down and 36.
Guess you heard that, right? First down and 36. Don't think they have too many plays designed for that particular down and distance. Especially with just 6 seconds left. Again, the low snap for Wilson. He's going to toss it deep down the center of the field, and this one is tapped up and caught for the touchdown. The reception by Taplin. And that's what you have to be careful of, is when you tap it up in the air instead of intercept it.
Yep.
Anybody can get the carom of the rebound, and they did.
Taplin on the reception. Camden going for the extra point.
And Camden does kick the extra point. They go for 2 every time. As they will here.
You know, based on the angle that we're at right here, I missed the catch right there from where I'm standing. So, I'm trying to check this replay.
It's Taplin on the reception. I don't know who deflected it.
Well, that's the confidence they're going to need going into the second half. And it's still a game.
Here's Rancocas Valley was offsides. They were.
Penalty against the Red Devils.
So they'll move it forward 1.5 yards.
Now, do you think that some coaches have a theory about 2-point conversions and punts? Do you think their kicker, they don't have a kicker, or do you think they're just doing this theoretically because they just play their percentages?
I really didn't ask Coach. Should have.
Well, number 55 is their kicker. He's the biggest kicker I've ever seen in my life. And it looks like he can pound the ball off the tee. Not sure how he can do with extra points.
Wilson to Edwards, up the middle. And he's in.
That's the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen.
So now Rancocas Valley leads it 17-8 as we close out the first half of play. Over the years, Third Base Sports and Trophies has grown into one of the leading companies on the East Coast in providing all of your trophy and apparel needs. Located on Hollywood Avenue in Cherry Hill, they provide one-stop shopping to their customers with outstanding quality, service, and affordability. Open Monday through Friday from 9 till 5, Saturdays 9 till noon. Phone 856-665-0114. Remember to stop at Third Base on your way home. And there's something for everyone at Dempster's Sports Bar in Mount Holly. Early bird specials, Mexican Monday, Saturday breakfast, Thursday. A great menu featuring their scrumptious burgers, nightly entertainment, and a wide array of beverages. But Dempster's Sports Pub was designed for the sports fan. You can watch all the NFL and college football games, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it. They have their own teams for shuffleboard, darts, and horseshoes. Dempster's Sports Pub, 437 Pine Street, just off Route 38 in Mount Holly, where friends become. Right now, we are going to take a short break for a few messages, and then we'll be back here from Camden, that is, with more.
The ball is out. Man, this coach.
Pre-loved, pre-approved, and new to you. Visit Miller Subaru in Mount Holly and get a great deal on a factory-certified pre-owned vehicle. Our certified pre-owned vehicles are all backed by Subaru and come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a free Carfax included, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Get all of the luxuries and peace of mind of a new car at an affordable price. Miller makes Miller Subaru, Route 38 Mount Holly.
I'm first.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural thin veneer stone and custom cut stone. We can help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver it all. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply, downtown Mount Holly, since 1901.
Back here at Camden, the band on the homecoming, I believe, for Camden as they're introducing the contestants. We've seen a lot of these homecomings this season thus far. It was homecoming last week for Rancocas Valley on a Saturday afternoon against Notre Dame. So your impressions of the first half, Dave? They 17-0 score, and then on the last play of the first half, an alley-oop, threw it down the field, deflected, and caught for the touchdown by Turpin.
Well, it would be okay if they didn't get that big play at the end of the half. Then Rancocas could say, we dominated the whole thing. We controlled the clock. We controlled, everything. But the penalties, now they're going to look at the amount of penalties they could have had, that they did have, and they could have scored on, they could have taken advantage of. So now you start going, instead of being 17-0, and you probably should have been about 25 to 28-0 right now. Based off those penalties, they just really killed themselves. And that's the worst we've seen them be with discipline this year.
Yeah, there's no question about it. They had their issues with the penalties in that first half. It cost them a bunch. I mean, they were able to overcome a few of them with long plays, but toward the end there, in that second half of the second quarter, they really had their issues.
And we said that this team could just come in and strike from anywhere, and all the time that you built and took off on the clock, they can just make it up in one play, which they just did right there. And you hate that because you spend so much time dominating the clock and dominating the the control of the line, and defense is playing great, and then one big play could take it all away, which they just did. They're still in the lead. It's still a 2-score game. And I'd say they're easily controlling this game. But that's frustrating. I know Coach is probably losing his mind out there about the penalties.
No question about it. But they're going to have to come out, Rancocas Valley, in the second half, Dave. They're going to be on defense to start it off, and they're really going to have to buckle it up because, you give up the touchdown to Camden again, and it's a ball game, and they've got momentum in the whole 9 yards, and the way games go. It's all a matter of momentum, so they've got to take it back quickly.
Not just that, but with, when you have emotion in a homecoming type of game, in a big game, with both teams, it's 5-1 playing a 6-0 or 7-0 team with a lot of power points on the line. You're definitely playing with emotion, and you add momentum to that at your homecoming, and it could be explosive.
No question about it.
Anybody's game still.
So the Camden band is on the field, about to perform. Once they start, we'll bring.
You're getting some bonus footage, broadcaster, and some of the stuff that goes on you can see kind of up in here. Tony and myself, and here's our here's my list of things and all the neat paperwork that we do and the notes that we take. This is all new to me too.
Now you see what Mike looks at when he's doing the game and bringing up the commercials and that sort of thing.
And I know some of my kids that I coach at Athletes Arbor are watching this. I put the link up there and have them watch it, and they have a good time with it. And they wonder, if anybody wants to get into some broadcasting, this is what it looks like at the high school level.
Well, let me tell you something about broadcasting.
Yeah, Tony, the great Tony Blum. I love to hear this. Please tell us. And Tony's had an unbelievable career with the Atlantic City Surf and with the Mets, right? And the Eagles. With doing the post-game show with Ray Rhodes. I could list off some of your accolades, but it's been a pleasure working with you this season.
Well, the interesting thing about it, Dave, is that doing high school is the most difficult because you do everything yourself.
Right.
We do everything ourselves. We prepare ourselves. Everything is done by us, and of course Mike and our producers, obviously Dean and Prime Events. When you go up to the next level in college, you see the press boxes at these major college universities. Much easier to do the game. You've got a spotter. You've got all sorts of things going on. You have a monitor right there that's going to update the statistics as they go along. And then, of course, when you get to the pro level, you just step that up one degree higher. They get paid the big bucks, even though it's easier.
Right.
And
Is that how it always works?
Of course.
That's how it always works. That's how it works.
Yep. But we love it. We love bringing it to you, and I know
I've had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I really have
you've
had
enjoyed
a lot of fun.
and of course, this season to be able to follow Rancocas Valley undefeated and watch a outstanding superstar player like Iverson Clement, and of course, I had the pleasure of also doing the Vineland games this season. So it's double pleasure because they're undefeated as well. And as it stands right now, of course, we have another week after this left. But as it stands right now, they would be Vineland the 8th seed and Rancocas Valley 1, and they would play each other in the first round. That's a tough first round game.
That would be, well, it's heartbreaking for one of the teams who's played so well all season long, and they don't meet each other until the playoffs, which I actually got to call the Vineland Egg Harbor Township game with you, and Vineland does have a heck of a team. They're stacked, and they're big too. They have that those mid-range players that Rancocas Valley does have as well, with like those big linebackers and those big fast linebackers. They have the same exact thing.
Yeah, they have Naeem Anderson at linebacker, who's headed from Merrill, 230, and then they have Isaiah Pacheco at quarterback, who's also a great running back. They're also a very physical team. That's the thing that's impressed me about them. They're very physical. They hit the gym. They're very big into weightlifting. Very strong team. They haven't played the toughest schedule this year, but next week they have Mainland tonight, your alma mater, and then next week, St. Augustine.
Yeah, Mainland's going to be a tough one. Right now, Mainland's, I'll tell this, Mainland has a great tradition there, which it's been a while since they've been pretty good. They have a great coach in Chuck Smith there. They do have some young players. I'll name Drew DeMorat. He's going to be a great football player coming up. They do have some players that are going to make some changes there as Chuck Smith gets to instill that tradition. But right here in Rancocas, we're in Camden, but Rancocas Valley has really stepped up. If you're going to have a winning tradition, you'll start it with a Coach Hausman, who really not only believes in his players, but he's not afraid of his play. He's not afraid of yelling and getting in guys' faces. I've seen him, give some dirty looks to some of the best players on his team and just give him a stare down. And they respect him very much. That continue to grow, and they're going to be good year after year after year, just based off of what they've done in the past couple years, especially this one.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about the impressive list of players that have come through Rancocas Valley. We talked about it earlier this season, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Right now, though, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more from Camden. Rancocas Valley on top, 17-8.
Looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle? Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared-for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mount Holly and 24/7 at millerford.com.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We stock boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, and decorative gravel. We also offer a huge variety of natural thin veneer stone and custom cut stone. To help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver it. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply in downtown Mount Holly.
All right, back here at Camden, where Rancocas Valley leads it by the score of 17-8. And we were talking earlier about some of the tremendous players that have come through Rancocas Valley. Of course, you've got one right here in Iverson Clement, but you've also got Irving Fryer, you've got Alonzo Spielman, Franco Harris. I mean, how many schools can talk about players like that?
Yeah. I mean, that one, we were saying, you know, Art Still had gone to school here. There's a couple smaller players from that were, I thought were 2, but 3 absolute NFL super. It becomes cyclical. You have those people that have kids, and eventually they come back, and they're really meant is got to be one of the best high school football players, most dominating players I've seen in years. There was a kid I remember that named Joe Sarnice at Holy Spirit High School, who I thought was just one of those dominating players. No matter what he did on the field, it was. And I think really he ended up going to Villanova, having a great career at Villanova. But you know, Iverson has really he's impressed me as much as I've seen. And I've seen Jabril Peppers play. The St. Augustine's Prep played Paramus Catholic a couple years ago, and I went to go see that just to see Jabril Peppers. And Iverson Clement is every bit as good offensively as Jabril Peppers was.
That's saying a lot, because when he went to Michigan, Michigan said that he was the highest rated recruit they ever had, as far as where he was rated nationally.
Yeah. He was not only could do, you know, he was 220 pounds, just under 6 foot, and could run the 200 meters in 20.7 seconds. Ran the 110.5 seconds, was state champion in both, and was clearly twice the size of everybody on the track. And you could see that he could just apply that, just the physics of him being that big and fast all over the place. Although he goes to the combine and only runs a 4.48, which I thought was, I thought he would be a lot faster than that in his 40. But I think he put on some weight and was just to play linebacker, or to play that outside linebacker and safety. Otherwise, I think he's about a 4.3 guy. And at that size, that's very impressive.
Yeah, there's been some great players, especially recently with Rashawn Gary out of Paramus Catholic, who is now at Michigan. He was the #1 rated. We've seen quite a few, but the interesting thing about it is, Dave, is we'll look at players at the high school level and we'll go, wow. And yet, many of them don't go to the big-time programs, because even though we think they're wow, the recruiters maybe don't agree. And they go to a Division I team, but not the highest level. So,
well, some of them, there's other factors that play in there. So, like, well, Iverson's going to Florida. Let's say Jabril Peppers goes to Michigan. There's a lot of reasons. Some of them have to do academics. Some of the kids are like, I don't know that I'm ever going to have an NFL career. Who knows? I want to go to this school because I want to go to Stanford because it has this great education. I could go to any school I want. I want to go to Stanford. I want to go to an Ivy League school. Let's say if you're you want to stay in state, you want to go to Rutgers because you just have pride that you want to make Rutgers, New Jersey, will be the best one. There's those factors. Then some of them say, let's go to a smaller school, and there's a lot of reasons for that, because you want to come in and start playing as a freshman. You might be sitting behind 2 or 3 draft picks and go, I'm not going to play until I'm a senior, so let me go somewhere where I'm going to play as a senior. That's close to home. There's so many factors, but I know Michigan and Paramus Catholic have a pipeline because there's a lot of them going right through there. I actually think that's been proven that they have a coach from Paramus Catholic that's now a coach at Michigan right now.
That's right.
So there is something to be said about that, but you know, there's a lot of these kids that, you know, decide to stay, or they decide as a group. They'll meet each other in an all-star game and say, hey, listen, all of us at this all-star game, we're all going to stay at home and go to Rutgers, you know, and then say, if we all go to Rutgers, let's be national champions from New Jersey. People will be talking about us forever, you know. And I remember St. John in basketball had a team like that where they all met at the you know, the McDonald's All-American game, and ended up staying at St. John's and having a great career. It happens all the time. You never know why. There's all those factors in there, but it's just a neat thing how, you know, how college football, you know, players have developed from these small schools and these little, like, you know, little tiny stadiums like this. You'll see a big superstar football player emerge from a little game that we may have covered something like this, and it's just neat. I really am looking forward to seeing where Iverson, how he does at Florida, and seeing him in that big stadium in front of all those people. And, you know, I'm sure the coach will flip out if he ever tried a one-handed punt return, but, you know, I do hope I see it again.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know I saw Carl Anthony Towns in high school a couple times. We covered his games, and, of course, we all know what he's done. Played for Kentucky on a team that should have won the national championship but didn't. And then, of course, rookie year in the NBA, and one of the top, how they play in the NBA rather than how they played during even their college career, but certainly high school. You never saw him do what he was capable of doing. The best way to get an indication of what he could do was when he was warming up. Because then you saw threes and the way he could handle the basketball at 7 feet. You never saw that in the game because coaches said you're standing under the basket, which is obviously what he should do at that size. But yeah, it's fun, like you see in high school, and then what they become.
Yeah, and it becomes more and more specialized. Now I got to play at all three, you know, at 4 levels of football, but at the high school level, you play a little bit at both ways, and then at the college you get more specialized. You're only going to play one position, maybe a return person sometimes. At the NFL, it's just that you need to be good at like one thing. You're either the deep return, you're the deep guy, you're the big, you know, slot guy, or you're a tight end or something like that. But you really specialize, and that's kind of how, you know, you don't have to be a super well-rounded football player. You just have to be really good at one thing.
Both teams back on the field, and Miller Ford and Rancocas Valley High School have been synonymous with Mount Holly for decades. The dealership has been part of the community since 1912. Miller's offers full state-of-the-art service at their Ford, Lincoln, and Subaru dealerships, side by side on Route 38. There's a huge inventory and great staff to help customers find the vehicle that is just right for them at the best price available. Miller Ford and Subaru, Route 38 in Mount Holly. Online at Miller Thing from Pop Warner Football. The 21st annual Bill Gordon Mount Holly Pro Day coming up in May. Check out the details online at onlc.com/Pro Day. So Dave, what do you expect in the second half here as Camden gets that score at the end of the first half to close it to 17-9?
Well, I know they have this home field advantage with this band, getting them all hyped up for the second half. 1, 2, they have a very unique atmosphere here because they don't have locker rooms. So you're going to meet without any chalkboards, or you're going to meet over here without any TV or replays or anything like that. So you can't make some of the adjustments that you would, like, you know, where Rancocas Valley is used to a lot more more technological stuff there. You know, it can't make the same adjustments where, you know, Camden's used to this right now. And as you come out in the second half with a little bit of confidence in yourself because you just scored on them, even though it was, you know, maybe a lucky catch at the end of the half, you have points on the board against a team that doesn't let people have points on the board. So you're getting a little confidence right now. And you're hoping to go back to game plan. Like I said, they're going to be like this. You know, Iverson's going to he's carried the ball a lot. He's played defense a lot. So he may be getting tired in the second half, and where they're going to give him a lot less carries, I think, and they're going to have to rely on some of the other weapons. So I think they're going to have to be a little more resourceful and stop. They can't run Iverson as much. And then they're going to have to rely on some of the other players. And Bryce is going to have to step up. Alan Watts is going to have to step up. Mark Sykes is going to have to step up. And the defense just has to keep doing their thing. They've done fantastic besides one play.
Yeah, I think they're just going to have to make some adjustments, because I think that Camden made adjustments in that they played Iverson Klemic better, say, the second half of the second quarter. They were doing a better job on him. So that's what their goal was, to try to slow him down. I don't think they accomplished it. The one goal of holding him to 10 carries or less, but still, he had his moments as well.
And Rancocas Valley has got to address the penalties. Even if they're maybe, sometimes you get penalties like that from playing very excited football. I think they're going to settle in the second half and cut those penalties way down. They're also going to make their adjustments. Like you said to Coach Hausman earlier, and what you've been most impressed by is their ability to make adjustments. So their adjustment is not the other team right now. Their adjustment is themselves. Their adjustment just adjust the excitement level and play a more disciplined game in the second half. Let's see if they do that.
Preskavich to kick it off, Rice and Hudson to receive it. 17-8, the Red Devils. The kick, high, going to come down to Hudson inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Going to start to his right side, looking to circle the right end, cuts it upfield across the 30, and he's going to be dumped at the 32-yard line.
That was Alan Watson in on the stop there, and he's their starting wide receiver. But you know, the more I think about him as a football player, he could be a very effective safety as well as his size. He's got all that size too.
Some scores in progress. Lenape and Cherokee scoreless. Holy Spirit 14-3 over Camden Catholic. Triton leads Eastern 7-0 in Washington Township. A 12-0 lead over Bridgeton. Of course, that Eastern game important because they are in Group 5. Premier Wilson, the quarterback, going to keep it himself. And a good gainer on first down to the 40. Check that. That was Kevin Smith Jr. on the carry. It's a 5'9" senior. Picked up 8 yards.
Those are probably their best positive yards on a running play so far. Right up the middle.
Hudson splits out to the right side. 2nd and 2. Quick pitch to the left side and incomplete.
Yeah, and I mean, I've done enough homework on Rancocas Valley, and you never know because every team has their whole. They got to look down their whole schedule, and they got to, you know, as a high school coach, you got a life to live. You got kids. You got stuff to do. You got to teach. And I've watched a lot of film, and screen passes are highly unsuccessful against Rancocas Valley. They have defensive ends that can stretch out the field. Their linebackers play great football, and they can beat you up right there on the inside. I wouldn't throw a screen pass ever.
They give up the middle. Sorry, Dave. They give up the middle. Not going to get there.
Tony, as soon as I start talking about the defense, you can just shut me up anytime. I've said enough. I've complimented them enough. They all know they're great. Good job, guys. That's it. That's the last compliment you get for today. But seriously, you can't throw a screen pass against this defense.
So now it looks like they're close enough to possibly measure here. Did not look like he got the first down, but let's see. It is not a first down. You can tell by the reaction of Rancocas Valley jumping up and down. Only a couple of inches, so let's see how Coach Savage is going to play it right here. Will he go for it? If he does not make it, that 42-yard line of Camden, and it appears they will be going for it. Now, of course, they also could be trying to draw him off sides.
I think they're going to probably try to go for it here.
What kind of a formation is this? You have Edwards deep behind the quarterback. That's different. Quarterback sneak. And he has the first down.
They got it. And they were successful in the last attempt as well, and all they did was kind of push up the middle. He's got that low center of gravity. He's getting right underneath these guys and just needs a couple inches. So good call. Good gutsy call by Coach Savage. Well, you know, and the screen passes, I'll tell you what they're good for, is setting up a hitch and go on the outside or, you know, some screen and go. See how aggressively those corners play that screen, and then if they overplay it, you're going to have that send that guy out of the backfield and run a little out and up away from Iverson, obviously.
Might have a little wildcat here as there's no real quarterback in the backfield, but to give Edwards receive the snap. And they give to Smith to the left side, picked up a yard. That's about all, so a little different look there from Camden.
Yeah, I would expect from misdirection and some, like a little bit of smoke and mirrors with the shifts and the motions because of how fast they are. And they're pretty much going direct. I mean, they're trying something else because I guess what they were doing in the first half wasn't working. So they're making their adjustments as well.
2nd and 9 from the 47-yard line. Edwards keeps it himself. Big hole up the middle. He's got the first down and a lot more inside the 30. Check that, inside the 35. They're going to mark it right at the 35. So the Wildcat look there. Edwards finding a big hole and picks up the first down.
Now, be aware, Najir Edwards is also the backup quarterback. So if he runs, he took the direct snap on that. Now, if he can still throw the ball, and if you see him take a direct snap again, remember, he can throw the ball as well.
Officials timeout for an equipment. Edwards tying his shoes, now put back in motion. The ball at the 35-yard line off the run by Edwards. The snap. Again, Edwards. Again, Edwards finds room inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. So obviously the coaches of Rancocas Valley are going to have to make adjustments to this because they are having success and haven't seen it up until this time in the ball game.
Right. And, you know, Coach Savage made his adjustments. He said, you know, let's attack the middle of the field right now because, you know, those screen passes and going outside the tackles is not working. This has worked so far.
2nd and 4. Here's Edwards again off the right side. Going to be run out of bounds. See if he picked up the first down. He did. Ball just inside the 25 or the 24-yard line. So an impressive march here by Camden, going to that Wildcat look with Edwards directing the show.
Well, you can see what they can do. They had against Cherry Hill. They lit them up like a Christmas tree. 278 yards of passing, 81% completion percentage, and Premier Wilson's quarterback rating was 114. They can do it. They can light you up if they find their groove.
Edwards off the right side. Kyle Sapp trips him up after just a minimal gain. 2nd 9.
And the Camden defense has also averaged 5.5 sacks per game. That's a lot of sacks. And they haven't touched Bryce Mangine yet, though. So they're not putting a lot of pressure on him, but they're not throwing the ball too much either.
Eli Sloanell last week against Pensauken had 5 sacks himself.
Yeah, as a team averaging 5.
Oh, Edwards is crushed as he just looks to raise his arm to throw. There he is again.
Sapp was untouched, and you have to touch Sapp because if he comes, he has that low center of gravity and you know he's been fighting with his quadruplet brothers his whole life. He's coming in there like he's you know, the first one down the steps to get cereal in the morning.
6'1", 220.
I remember that. I've come from 6. If you didn't get up first, you weren't getting the prize in the cereal box.
3rd down.
Part of his stampede, though.
Yeah, but see, all of your siblings were not the same age.
Yeah. I don't think I think he pretty much gets the prize every time, whether he got there first or not.
3rd down and 15 now for Camden. Here's Wilson going to throw the screen to the right side. This one is complete and run out of bounds was David Taplin.
He'll be calling us after the game complaining about, they never gave me the cereal treat.
That's going to bring up a 4th down. So he nearly picked up the 1st down, 4th down and a yard. So big play here for both teams.
Yeah, until recently, he's been, fairly quiet amongst colleges, and I kind of get wind of this from a bunch of the coaches. A lot of my friends that I played with in college, the NFL, are now coaches, and now just recently, in the past 2 weeks, I've heard a lot of chatter about Sapp, and they ask questions, and he's getting a lot of attention from colleges right now.
4th and a yard. Wilson trying to surge forward behind that big offensive line on the right side. He's got the 1st down. Of course, the right side includes Khalil Phillips, who is 6'3" and 320.
Yeah, Khalil's a big boy. He's one of the bigger guys we've seen this season. And Jeffrey Jones, 6'4", 275. These guys are those are your big DO line, defensive lineman, offensive lineman. They can move him around. They move Jeffrey Jones around a little bit. But 320, 6'3" is a big boy.
Right next to him is Davon Washington, as you said, at 6'1" and 245. So that right side is big, and that's where they went. 1st and 10. They can get a first before they score. Edwards now moves out of the backfield. Wilson with a toss to Hudson, now reversing his field and has nowhere to run at all.
Jesse Edrick all over them. He's got those long arms. I feel like Jesse Edrick makes tackles sometimes from, if you're in his web, he kind of throws a web at you. He gets you on those reverses or jet sweeps. His hand, all he needs is a hand in there and he can pull you down.
6'2", 215 is Edrick. Loss of 5. Ball is at the 17-yard line. 17-8. Rancocas Valley leads it. Hudson splits far out to the right side. Rice in motion to the left. Wilson's going to keep it himself to the 15-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. Of course, this is 4-down territory, especially for them because they don't kick.
Right. Oh, that's right. And they're having their quarterback's he's only 5'8" and he's got some big linemen. Very hard to see over top of those guys unless you drop back at least 4 or 5 steps. And when you're trying to throw a slant route, which I would be trying to throw into a cover 2, was what they run here at the goal. Now they're in cover 3, it looks like. See over the line, so they're not throwing him.
Wilson's going to roll to his left, being rushed, throws over the middle, but way short. He was under pressure, had to get rid of it, let fly, and wasn't anywhere near anyone. So now 4th and 12 for Camden. At the 15 of Rancocas Valley.
I was looking forward for Corey Palmer to get a couple catches today and just see what Baylor sees in him as a freshman, So I kind of want to see him get the ball. And he has been, there's been a goose egg for Palmer today. I think
long draw about taking 8 minutes off the clock. If Rancocas Valley can shut them down here on the 4th and 12, that's a big play. Rolling left as Wilson throws deep into the end zone, and this one is caught for the touchdown. He just threw that one up, and the receiver ran under it. Race. On the reception.
Well thrown ball. I mean, that went right over. You could see I Iverson took off and kept his head down and just didn't have enough time. It was thrown so perfectly, like it was timed perfectly, so that he couldn't make a play on it at all. Great pass and catch. I really didn't think he had it. I thought he might have stepped out of bounds in the back of the end zone, but you only need 1 foot in high school, so here they go, going for 2.
That was Rice on the reception, pardon me, and he's their leading receiver, coming in with 17 catches, and again, they're going to go for 2 here.
That was a big play.
Wilson to the end zone, and he's in for 2. Able to sidestep a tackle.
2 points for Camden. Rancocas Valley, 17.
So now Camden creeps to within 1, 17-16. Going on a long, time-consuming drive to start this second half. And they score on the hookup to Rice, and then Wilson with a 2-point conversion. Well, for over 45 years, the Limo Group has provided quality engineering services to public clients throughout New Jersey and in New York, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Many of these clients have used the Limo Group services for years, and the firm has received many engineering and planning awards for municipal and state projects. The Limo Group services are tailored to client-specific needs. These range from water wells to footbridges and nature paths to new structures and facilities. The Alimo Group can engineer your ideas and help you create just what you need. Phone the Alimo Group at 609-267-8310. Visit them online at 200 High Street in Mount Holly.
Well, they earned that one. That's got to feel. That's going to give them some real confidence because they earned that touchdown.
Can you turn that light on? I can't see. Okay.
Here's the kick. Jones with a kickoff across the 25, the 29-yard line on the return.
Ball was returned to about the 28-yard line. Thank you. First and 10, Red Devils.
So, Dave, a big series right here for Rancocas Valley.
You can't see on the screen. Camera. You gotta turn it off. We can't. All right, thank you.
Mangine with a give up the middle for a couple.
Okay, second down.
Bright, Sykes, and Clement all in the backfield.
Alan Watson's got his one-on-one right here. There's that slant.
He slants in, and Mangine throws it to the outside, so
Pressure.
So as we talked about in that first half, Dave, momentum. You can tell where the momentum is here.
Yep, you can. This whole sideline's lighting up right now, and they earned that touchdown, so they are back in this game, and they earned that. So you know that feels good. The other one, they could almost feel like kind of empty, kind of lucky. They really did earn that touchdown.
So now 3rd and 10 from the 27-yard line. Rancocas Valley dominated the first half, only leading, though, by 1. The long throw to the right sideline, and this one is caught. Howie drops the ball.
They had success with that earlier. He made a beautiful catch, almost the same exact looking play, and didn't come up with it that time. That's the difference in momentum, though. When your team's emotionally on top, you make those plays instead of miss them.
That was Hill, the intended receiver, made that great catch in the first half. Here's the kick. Beautiful kick. Bounces down at the 35-yard line and is going to roll dead somewhere around the 33-yard line. So 3 and out for Rancocas Valley. And now Camden back with the football, and the defense of Rancocas Valley is going to be tested.
That was a great punt.
Jackson with the punt. Hasn't had much work this season because Rancocas Valley is so good offensively. So Camden with the football, trailing now by just 1.
Well, now I kind of want to see this out of Rancocas Valley. I want to see how they react to having a close game against a team with a lot of speed, just like them.
Ball at the 33-yard line. Wilson to the left side, no gain whatsoever.
I think that Camden's found their little rhythm there, and they've used the run to set up their pass because they even got a receiver in behind Clement, and they set that all up with their success of running right at the middle.
Interesting that they go back to the traditional setup with Wilson at quarterback when they had so much success with Edwards running the Wildcat. A loss of 1 on first down, now 2nd and 11 from the 32. Wilson with a quick pitch to the left side, and he is going to be hit immediately. It looks like Rice, but he was decked immediately by Taylor.
And if you did any homework on Rancocas Valley, you know that you're not going to have any success on screen passes. However, if this was a setup play, then the safety and corner reacted and came down very, very hard and aggressively. So if you're setting something up, a hitch and go, or if that go route on the outside of there, while you kind of slow down and fake the block and right past the corner, that would be wide open on that play.
3rd and 13. Woods for the touchdown. "67 yards.
Here Edwards taking it home. 1:29 remaining in the 3rd period.
So Camden has come roaring back, sparked by that play at the end of the first half where Wilson just threw it up and the deflection was complete for the touchdown. Took a long drive to start this second half, and now the big run by Edwards.
He showed off a little bit of that speed right there, and just separated the defense on that. And the hole and took off, which we haven't seen anybody long runs against this defense all year. That probably is the longest run against them.
67 yards. And again, they will go for 2. 22-17. Marker on the play, the toss to Edwards, and he is stopped.
They're going to have a penalty on. That'll be on Camden.
It's like a legal shift.
Mm-hmm.
They decline it, and the extra point is no good. So 22-17. Camden leads it. When you're planning improvements to your home, there are many reasons to choose Fryance. Windows, doors, awnings, carpeting, you name it. At Fryance, you'll get outstanding personal service with free estimates, competitive pricing, quality products, and professional installation. They're open Tuesday through Friday until 5, Saturdays until 4. Fryance, serving the region since 1896, is at 21 High Street in Mount Holly. Phone them, 800-236-4367. So 22-17, and Rancocas Valley will get the football again. And you know what they say about big-time players, supposed to make big plays in big games, right?
Yeah. And he stepped up big right there. Now, if I'm Rancocas Valley, I'm being very aware and very cautious of a onside kick right here. They don't kick the ball far here, and they want to keep the ball out of Iverson Clement's hands. So I would be looking at a
Pooch.
surprise onside kick here. Yep.
But he kicks it deep
That's a good kick.
at the 12
My apologies.
to the right side. Slipping tackles to the 15-yard line, then pushed back. Matlock again, who's been back there with Clement. And Rancocas Valley will have the football. Down for the first time in this game, 22-17.
This might be the first time they've been down the entire season.
Going to be marked somewhere around the 15-yard line, just over the 15. Officials calling a timeout here. Talking something over, but now they are set. Mangine deep to the left sideline. Threw that football before Watson was even aware that it was gone out of his hands, and by the time he turned around, didn't have a chance to catch it, but then again, he probably wouldn't have been able to anyway because the ball was thrown out of bounds.
Well, I think it's smart to take a shot like that every now and then. They did it last series, and it just kind of loosens up the safeties and makes them aware that you could go deep. And it kind of just loosens them up a little bit. You can see how tight the defensive backs have gotten. They could push right up into their face and play press man. I rarely see that in high school.
Second down, the give off the left side. 4-3, maybe 4. Clement on the carry.
Yeah, these corners play with a ton of confidence.
So they give him a 2-yard advance now. Third down and 8. So Rancocas Valley's offense has been slowed considerably by this Camden defense. Looking to sweep the left side on the jet sweep, but not going to get it done. That was Hill. Pickup of a yard, but now again the fourth down.
Wow, I'm shocked. Now their defense has done a great job containing Iverson, containing this Watson, who typically I would think would win those one-on-one battles, just got overthrown on that last one, second down play. But
Jackson gets it off, but not one of his better kicks. Going to be down to the 45-yard line of Rancocas Valley, so kind of flipping the field here in the second half, Dave, as they're getting great field position, not so in the first half.
Yeah, that's great field position. And yeah, this is one of the first times I've seen them down, especially in the fourth quarter. This is the first time they've been down.
So that's the end of the third quarter of play with the score 22-17 Camden. Highway Tire and Auto Service stocks a wide selection of tires for your vehicles. Their passenger tire inventory includes favorite brands like Goodyear, Kelly, and Dunlop. You'll get the best replacement tire for your car, light truck, or SUV right now. But there's more. Highway Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated for over 50 years. Also specials on oil changes, alignment, and brake service. Highway Tire and Auto Service, 1661 Route 38 in Mount Holly. Phone them 609-267-5300 or visit them online at highwaytires.com. Camden with the football at the 45 of Rancocas Valley, leading it 22-17. Up the middle to give for 4, maybe 5.
Well, this thing just heated up. If you were sitting before, you're standing now. The band even stopped playing just to
4-yard advance for Camden. Taplin on the carry. 2nd and 6 from the 42. Big hole up the right side for Edwards. Inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Picks up enough for another first down. And he's really running well here and running hard in this second half of play.
Yeah, every time they call his number, he's picking up 8 yards, 67 yards. He's picking up a lot of big chunks. Very, very quick. Stays low to the ground. He's got the ball very secured, real tight.
Injured player.
That's Jesse Edrick.
Okay.
That would be a big loss for today, too.
Timeout on the field. 22-17, Camden leads it. Adams Electrical Contractors, your residential specialist handling additions, renovations, and basements. Adams Electrical can supply and install generators, indoor and outdoor lighting, ceiling fans, smoke detectors, whatever you need. They offer free estimates and have been in business for over 35 years. Adams Electrical Contractors, 139 Pine Street in Mount Holly. Phone 609-267-8715 or visit them online, adamselectrical.com. So this has been a tale of 2 halves. Rancocas Valley goes out to a 17-zip lead, and on the final play of the first half, Wilson throws up a Hail Mary, and it was answered. The prayer. Touchdown. And the 2-point conversion made it 17-8, and really in the second half, it's really been turned around. They have had the advantage. They have had the momentum, and right now they have the football.
Yep, since the last play of the second half, they've had all the momentum. Everything they do is a little more confident, a little more quicker, a little more chippy.
Wilson looking to sweep the left side, but he says no thank you. Goes down right at the 35-yard line. Nothing was there, so decided not to take the hit when nothing was there.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see how Rancocas Valley responds to this, and Jesse Edrick's a big loss there if he's out for the game. He is a very big part of that defensive line.
Loss of a yard, ball back to the 35-yard line, 2nd and 11. Hudson to the right side, Palmer out to the left.
A lot of space there. Corners giving him 10, 15.
Wilson. The give off left guard, not much there.
Yeah, they haven't thrown a ball at Corey Palmer all day long, and I'm not sure if that's because he doesn't like to throw to his left, but the corner had given him all kind of hitch room right there or slant room. And then that same outside linebacker blitzed right here, number 46. Daniel Myers blitzed, so there was nothing there but him and the defensive back 15 yards away. So maybe looking at those hitches and slants just because they're giving it to them.
Palmer out to the right side, a slot to the left on a 3rd and 9. From the 33. Wilson off the left side. Edwards continues to run hard. He'll be short of the first down by 2 or 3. Going to put it down at the 26-yard line, so about 2.5 to go for the first.
Well, you know they're going to go for it.
Rice and Hudson to the right side, Palmer left. Good chance Edwards going to get it here. Wilson, though, decides to throw deep to the left side, and this one is caught for the first down. And that's
Corey Palmer's first catch. Now, I had just said it before that, they were giving him a lot of space there. And he had a matchup with a very short defensive back. That was number 24, Malik Lowe, 5'5", 155. And Corey Palmer's a 6'1", 170 pounds. So they could see the matchup on that fade route was going to be all Palmer.
Just throws the ball up there, even if he was well covered, which he was, but he jumps at 6'1" and hauls it in, so he got open on his own. Here's Wilson to the right side. Did not get in, close, about the 1 foot line. Now they say he did get in. So now 28-17. Camden as they are pulling away here in the second half.
I'm in shock right now.
Wilson takes it in. Sideline of Camden juiced up, all excited. Again, they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, this is an emotional team, and when they start getting momentum, they're very dangerous.
Edwards in with the Wildcat. Edwards takes it himself to the left side, and Edwards is to the goal line, and he is in for 2. That makes it 30-17. Rancocas Valley trails it, and they have not scored in the second half. Parent Chief Chapels has been part of the greater Mount Holly community for more than 180 years. Community service and participation are both part of their heritage. When you have a need for their services, you can call 609-267-0399. Site at parentchief.com or 38 High Street in Mount Holly. They're there to help honor the memory of your loved ones. Parent Chief Chapels, a proud supporter of the student athletes at Rancocas Valley. So Camden leads it by 13. Still a 2-score game here.
So they were up 17-0 and gone 30 points unanswered in the second half right here. Actually, one play inside the first half, but they're going to have to go back to bread and butter and just let Iverson get the ball a little bit right now.
He gets it to the left side and able to advance it across the 40 to the 40. He's still on his feet. Will not go down to the 49 to the midfield line, and now across the midfield line. So I think that Iverson kind of feels that I'm going to take it into my own hands and I'm going to will my team to win this football game.
And had an unbelievable return right there. And you think he was down at the 40-yard line. He ran another 10 yards with 3 or 4 people on his back. I never think this game will be over, especially with Iverson Klemic on that field. But, I give my, my hats off to Camden for what they're doing right now with an undefeated, very, very good Rancocas Valley team.
8:10 left in the ball game. Rancocas Valley with the football. Mangine throws to the left side. Talk about a dangerous pass there. Coming up was Taplin, nearly picked it off.
What you got to do right now is not change anything you've done that you've been successful with coming into this game. Nothing's changed. They're not a different team. This is the same team that you beat up in the first half, and they have time on the clock. They don't have to get desperate right now, and that's what you just want to see them be disciplined and run their offense. You have time.
Here's Klemic off the left side. Powers his way for what appears to be a first down.
He's a little short. That was just an all-will 9 yards of straight Iverson Clement will.
3rd and a yard. Here's Clement. Powers up the middle. Continues driving to the 35-yard line. More than enough for the first down. So you know who's getting the football here. It's going to be.
Unless you see some some press man one-on-one matchups on the outside and just take a shot at it. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. That's pass interference. Got him. Yep.
That was intended for Sykes, and he was held. Yep. Pass interference, right?
Yep. That was probably a good pass interference, by the way, because Mark Sykes had nobody in front of him, and if he caught that ball, he was scoring on that play. So that was probably a smart play by the defense.
That should give them the first with the 10-yard walk-off, and it will. 2-yard line. So Rancocas Valley looking to answer here. Here's Clement. Clement powers up the middle. Powers inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Close to another first down. Doing an up-tempo offense here, Dave.
Yeah, they need to use that. They need to, like, slow down their defense. Oh.
Here's Clement to the right side. To the right corner of the end zone. And it's a touchdown. So just that quickly they come back.
Execute their offense. Now, they've been highly successful, and when they back off of giving Iverson the ball, that's on purpose. They do that because they don't want to over-carry him, especially because they have a long playoff season to go into now. So now if they just feed him and they do their offense, they really don't have to worry. They have time. They have to get the ball back now and score again, but there's no need to freak out. And this is just what happens when, you haven't seen, like I said, Tony, I wanted to see them in this situation, not freak out. Just go ahead and play your offense.
Prescavage to attempt, Mangine to hold. And the kick is good. So now 30-24. Camden on top of Rancocas Valley, and there was a penalty which will be assessed on the kickoff. Premier Barber Shop is the place to get your haircut. They have experienced barbers at Premier who specialize in the latest styles, fades, temple tapers, mohawks, comb-over designs, and more. Premier Barber Shop is at 14 High Street in Mount Holly. They're a diversified establishment. If you look good, they look good. Get sharp at Premier Barber Shop in Mount Holly. So Rancocas Valley answers and now trail at 30-24. So if they were to score and were successful on the extra point, they would retake the lead.
What was the penalty for?
I didn't see it, but I saw that they were saying it's going to be assessed on the kickoff.
Oh. Horse collar penalty is what that was.
Okay, so it's against Camden.
And now they got their. This is actually a big deal because this will put them in bad. With barring, no return if he kicks out and they out of the end zone. This is a big deal. This field position.
Prescavage, it'd be interesting to see how they what the strategy is here.
It looks like he's going to go on sides.
So they want to keep it in the field of play. And they're going to knock the ball carrier down inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
That was swooping on that play, number 15. And they were flying downfield. Which was an issue with them, and all season long was people getting big returns on them, and they have really turned this into a positive.
James on the return, so they're back inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. So a huge opportunity for Rancocas Valley.
Plenty of clock left, 6:49. Each team's going to have 2 possessions probably left, so plenty of time.
(30-24) Camden. Looking to sweep the left side. That's Edwards, but Edwards is going nowhere. May have picked up a half a yard.
Edwards on the carry.
Yeah, all their successes come between the tackles. So they should probably, and none of the screen plays and none of the outside sweeping or jet sweeps have worked. So they should go to what's successful, but also from Rancocas Valley side, you know, protect that inside, and maybe even throw another linebacker, go back to their 4-4, which I think they're doing right now. Yes, they are. They pulled that linebacker down back into a 4-4, and to slow down that up the middle run.
Slot formation to the right side. Palmer flanked out to the left. 2nd and 7. Wilson looking to roll to his right, being hemmed in. Now back the other way along the left sideline, and he's going to slide out of bounds. But he'll be
close
short.
To a first.
Yeah, it looks like the officials just no. They do. Are they saying a first down? He's looking over this way.
He slid in, and the ball stays back. Remember, it's where the when he starts to slide, where your elbow, where the ball is, and I think they're just short. They might have to bring the sticks out for that one.
They are.
Calling for the measurement.
I would say he's just going to be shy of that, just because of where I saw him slide from my vantage point.
30-24. Camden on top of Rancocas Valley.
So far, Camden's the only team to be up on Rancocas Valley this season in the 4th quarter at all.
And it is a first down for the Panthers. Big first down there.
Yeah, that was big. And they ate up some clock. It's 5:39 left. They took a minute off. Just running the ball. But that does stop the clock right there.
Wilson coming over to the sideline to powwow with the coaches. First down. At the 19-yard line. Just short of the 20. Camden has won 4 in a row. Of course, Rancocas Valley comes in unbeaten at 7-0. Off right guard is Edwards, running hard across the 20 to the 22, 23-yard line.
Now you could see that you could see Iverson shading over there towards Corey Palmer now. He's just kind of got his eyes over in that direction, shading that side because of that big catch he had on last play. They still have number 24, Malik Lowe, who's 5'5", 155. That's still the same matchup they have. Now they're switching, see, over here because they don't like that matchup. So Iverson takes him.
2nd down and 6. Edwards.
The flag. There's a holding play. There's a holding penalty.
Edwards changing direction 3 or 4 times and not really going anywhere. And now another penalty at the end of this game. Play, sorry.
There'll be a holding penalty.
Iverson Klemic is looking at the official. So here comes the indication. Holding. Personal foul, face mask, that's going to be offsetting. That was what Klemic, I think, was discussing with the official. So 2nd down and 6. From the 24. Approaching 4 minutes left in this ball game. So it's incumbent of Rancocas Valley to really dig in here defensively.
Yeah, and Corey Palmer's getting covered right now by Iverson Klemic. I saw that matchup, and at 2nd down and about 6, they're going to be looking at that a lot right now, especially after the way he caught that last fade route for a touch. That wasn't a touchdown, it was a great gain. And Iverson's kind of making those decisions on it.
So just a yard or so on the carry. By Knock.
But they're really chewing up some clock here, so they might not want to go to the air.
Well, this is big. This play right here could determine the outcome. Here's Wilson rolling to his right. Wilson throws on the run, and this one's knocked away along the right sideline. Great diving.
Great play
deflection
by Taylor.
Taylor comes through, and what I was trying to say is that this could work against them. Because if Rancocas Valley is able to score here and kick the extra point, it might not leave them enough time to come back. They have no kicker, so it's got to be a touchdown.
Right. And you do not want to punt the ball to Iverson. And then he may not want to score that quickly anyway. He might want to pull it up right at the 5-yard line. If he was going to score, he might want to sit it down and then try to put some time on the clock. Now, Keon Taylor made a great play. This is his first game playing at corner today. He's a safety. And he's played huge today.
Bounces the snap back. Klemic takes it. Klemic up the middle. Klemic dancing and dodging as a marker down. Ball going to be, he's going to be tackled, I should say, at the 48-yard line of Camden. Likelihood this is going to go against Rancocas Valley.
Well, he just one-handed that punt return again, even though it bounced off the ground. He still one-handed it.
So it is against Rancocas Valley. But, of course, the key is they were able to stop Camden to get the football back.
Yeah. And it's very hard to stop this offense when they just play their discipline. They play their ball. 2.5 minutes left. They got all day just to score once. Take your time and score. Take your time, run the ball, score. Use your horse. You got him back there. When you got that type of a hammer, you want to swing it.
So here we go. 2:49 left in this football game. The throw over the middle intended for Sykes, but he was not looking. Palmer defending on the play. That, of course, is the play that he got called for the interference last series.
And the coach is over there going a little bit crazy because I think that wasn't the play they called from the sideline.
2nd down and 10. All sorts of flags. That's a legal procedure against Rancocas Valley, 5 yards. That was a hanky festival right there.
I think that was on Alan Watson moving at the ball right there. Just a little movement.
2nd down and 15 from the 37-yard line.
They need to just keep it on the ground, run out this clock, slowly score. Don't leave anything on the clock left for Camden.
Here's Klemic, stutter stepping across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
This is also 4-down territory.
Quickly, Rancocas Valley at the line of scrimmage. Klemic to the left side. Running out of room as he's pushed out of a gain of maybe a yard. That's about all. You could see him trying to push his offensive lineman, but ran out of real estate.
Yeah, and that was so predictable that I don't think that they had really much of a chance with that play. Now they're going to have to go to the air on this play again, which is predictable, and it gives them the opportunity to put a defense in there that can stop this type of a pass. So they're definitely going to go to the air.
4th down and 10. Intercepted, and that's going to do it. Picking it off was Amir Mitchell.
Great pick, great defensive play, great game by Camden. My hat's off to Coach.
Well, he was pretty confident coming into this game, but it didn't look like it was going to go his way in the first half, Dave. They were down 17-0. Got the break at the end of the first half off the Hail Mary deflection that was good for the touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion, and really it's been pretty much all Camden ever since.
Yep, sure has. Now, what happens when you put yourself in those positions, first down, you gain nothing, and you're getting penalized like that. He's going to go back to this game and say, you beat yourself. You beat yourself.
Wilson looking to hand off.
Timeout.
Nothing there at all. Rancocas Valley with tremendous penetration there. 2nd down, no gain.
Now, they may get the ball back if they can stop them here. They may get the ball back right at the end of the game. Enough time for a Hail Mary if they can stop them for all 4 downs right now. Because they're going to play very predictable. This is what happens at the end of these games, and you can see where the defense, you kind of know exactly what they're going to do based on the situation, and that's exactly what Camden was able to take advantage of, knowing they're going to go to the air, probably short right across the middle. They had no success throwing the ball outside the hash marks today. Besides the first pass, the first play of the game. After that, it's been all, anything from a pop pass to a hitch route. Nothing's gone for much. They knew they were going to go right up the middle and played that beautifully.
So now it looks like another timeout has been called on the field, and 30-24, Camden leads it. They have the football, and over the years, Third Base Sports and Trophies has grown into one of the leading companies on the East Coast in providing all your trophy and apparel needs. Located on Hollywood Avenue in Cherry Hill, they provide one-stop shopping to their customers with outstanding quality, service, and affordability. Open Monday through Friday, 9 till 5, Saturdays, 9 till noon. Phone 856-665-0114. Remember to stop at third base on your way home.
2:09 left.
Here's Ed with the run. Picks up 7.
Get to use another. It's had such success right now. They have to stuff this play.
Well, there's something for everybody at Dempster's Sports Pub in Mount Holly. Early bird specials, Mexican Mondays, Saturday breakfast, Thirsty Thursday. A great menu featuring their scrumptious burgers, nightly entertainment, wide array of beverages. But Dempster's Sports Pub was designed for the sports fan. You can watch all the NFL and college football games, plus baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. They have it. And they have their own teams for shuffleboard, darts, and horseshoes. Dempster's Sports Pub, 437 Pine Street, just off Route 38 in Mount Holly, where friends become family.
.158.
Third down and 5. Here's Wilson. He is going nowhere. They're going to sack him back to the 40-yard line, maybe the 39.
This should be their last timeout.
So they had all their timeouts left, which is huge.
Yep. Yeah, that was their last timeout.
Still, they were able to get the football back with 1:50 left. Question is, will they kick it to Klemic? That's a real interesting decision for Savage.
Best thing to do would be kick it out of bounds. Try to kick the ball up, get him somewhere over the 40-yard line, out of bounds, just without any return. And hopefully, they've had some success in the second half, just stuffing the Rancocas Valley offense. So leave it on the defense's shoulders. So that's the 2 minutes left. It's a big test.
Why risk it?
Mm-hmm.
You can see Coach Savage talking it over with the punter, Hudson.
Yeah, you don't want to be the guy that said, punt it to Iverson Klemic. That you just don't want to be that guy, no matter what. No coach wants to be that guy.
The snap,
up,
the kick, it's going to him. Makes the catch at the 22-yard line, starts out to his left, but he's going nowhere. Across the 25 to the 27-yard line, so good coverage, but a face mask call.
That'll be against Camden. That's coming up. I think that's a 15-yard penalty.
That's the call.
149 left.
Waiting for the walk-off here of 15.
Maybe it was unintentional, which is only a 5-yard penalty.
So the Red Devils are getting direction from the coaching staff. First down. Mangine rolling to his right. A marker is down. He's run out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
It's going to be a holding call there.
That's the call, holding.
They have struggled with penalties today. I mean, we had a game we had the Egg Harbor Township game where we thought we saw a lot of penalties. This has got to be somewhere in the 200-yard range of penalties. Might be a slight exaggeration, but it's got to be up there with some kind of a record.
It's definitely hurt. There's no question about it.
They beat themselves today, if anything. At the end of the day, they're going to say, this game should have been a lot closer.
Mangine going to fire it deep to the left side, and this one is incomplete. Intended for Watson at the 47-yard line. They've pretty much been step for step with these receivers, the Camden defense. The defensive backs have done a good job.
That was not That was not where they're going to have a mismatch today. Was on the defensive back to wide receiver. They were going to match up very well with them. And the deep route, they caught one. You know who caught one was a player that was a non-factor, number 26, Tyrone Hill. And he was up until today. They did not factor him in there, and he's the one that caught one deep.
So second down now and 20. Mangine sets up, good protection, throws to the left side, too high for the intended receiver. That was Watson again. So now third down and 20.
You got to try to pick up half of this back. I'd probably, some kind of screen or draw to Iverson, and then try to pick the rest of it up on the fourth down.
screen to the left side. This one is incomplete. Intended for Klemic. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, I mean, you had to pick up half of it, and that's why I said screen to Klemic. They did that just to pick up maybe half the distance. But this one, they got to go for it all.
Fourth down and 20.
If you ever had a trick play in your bag of plays right now, you got to pull this one out. Hook and ladder, something crazy right now.
Mangine is back. Steps up, throws over the middle, and this one is incomplete. Nearly intercepted again. And that should do it. Rancocas Valley is out of timeouts. So all Camden really has to do here is take a knee a few times, and the ball game will be over.
Well, we got a game, Tony. At least, you know, it was close. Not the way we expected it, but we got a close game finally.
So Camden with the football, they'll just take a couple of knees, and this will do it.
This will be very interesting from a PowerPoint standpoint because both teams would gain a lot of PowerPoints here. So we'll see what this does to the rankings.
Wilson with the knee.
My hat's off to Coach Savage, though. He did a great job today. Came out in the second half, a very good game plan. He fixed all his errors. And I think Rancocas Valley just continued to make their errors, and a ton of them in the first half. Second half, not as much, but there were still a ton of penalties that, they're going to go back and just talk about, beating yourself.
Of course, getting that Hail Mary touchdown at the end of the first half really sparked them.
Yep, that was the confidence they needed. And, this is an emotional team. You can see they have emotional leaders. And, that helps a ton when you're up. It hurts you when you're down. But when you get up, that emotion just drives you. And it's like wind beneath your wings,
So you can see the players are already shaking hands, knowing this game is in the books. We'll take one more knee here. And that's it. Camden has come back to win this game 30-24 after falling behind 17-0 in the first half. And they win it 30-24, winning their 5th in a row. And we'll be back to wrap it up in just a moment.
For a certified pre-owned vehicle, Miller Ford has a great selection to complement any lifestyle or budget. Plus, not just any car can be certified pre-owned Ford. Only the best cared for vehicles are chosen and then backed with Ford factory coverage, a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty, special financing, a clean Carfax report, and 24-hour roadside assistance. Find an affordable, reliable, and certified Miller Ford today. Miller makes it better. Route 38 Mountain at millerford.com.
Update your home with the long-lasting beauty of natural stone at the Hard Yard. Lippincott Supply in Mount Holly. We've got boulders, Belgian block, flagstone, stacking stone, decorative ground. We also offer a huge variety of natural timber and custom cutlery. We can help you plan the job, rent the tools, and deliver. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the best place to buy natural stone products is at Lippincott Supply, downtown Mount Holly.
All right, back here at Camden. First loss of the season for the Red 24. And as you mentioned, Dave, disappointing loss. I mean, I think they led to 17-0 and then giving up that Hail Mary touchdown. At the end of the first half, Camden gets the second half kickoff. They go on a long drive, they score, then they score again. And it was a second half where Camden pretty much controlled it. I mean, Rancocas Valley scored one time, but Camden really deserves the win. There's no question about it.
Yeah, if these teams played each other 10 times, I'd give Rancocas Valley 9 out of 10. But today, on this day, with that momentum they had, I wouldn't say it's a lucky catch, but that Hail Mary at the end of the first half, it gave them that spark that they needed. And while they were trying to play conservative, Camden went right back to its game plan, changed it, and started running the ball right up the middle. And they found some success there, and they stuck with that, and they had a couple big plays. And Rancocas trying to stay conservative the whole time, and right there until the end where they had to start throwing some getting sloppy a little bit with their throws, and But the main thing is, Tony, it was their own foot the entire game. They take, one step forward and two steps back, and it's actually a lot more than that. They took like 10, 15-yard chunks of penalties. And that's the difference in today's game.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Rancocas Valley just had this game completely in hand, leading at 17-0. And, of course, from their perspective, that's what it should have been at halftime, 17-0. Took the opening kickoff back 85 yards, and we're making it look easy against this Camden squad that really could do nothing offensively. Then they kind of changed it up a little bit in the second half, mixed in some wildcat with Edwards running well between the tackles, and really showed that they are a force to be reckoned with offensively. And Wilson, of course, also a fine quarterback. But I just think that they just let it get away from them. And then they had to get a score. They got one with Klemic kind of asserting himself, but then they just could not get back over the hump and get that winning score, which they kicked the extra point them the victory.
Right in the beginning of the game, remember, we talked about how we were on the field talking about the emotions of this team, and they were highly emotional. Now, Rancocas Valley, you never, even if their biggest wins, they didn't get to the point where they're all dancing together at the on the track down here. These guys are emotional, and when they win or when they have a big play like that halftime reception, that lit them up. And ever since then, they've been playing out of control. And sometimes, you get that real disciplined, slow, methodical play like a Rancocas Valley where they just do their job. They don't get emotional. They don't get those losses but they, it's hard when you get a team like that with emotion behind them, and they start playing up. They start playing 10 notches up from what they're used to, and they're a good team anyway. They're not a. Don't take anything away from Rancocas Valley. It was a close game given even all those mistakes. And Camden Catholic, who had handed them their only loss, was a great team too. So, both teams lose. They have a loss now, and to very good football teams. So it's still, I still take nothing away from Rancocas Valley going into the playoffs, besides they learned a lesson. Now, if they can take that and learn that lesson moving forward about penalties and discipline on those situations, and keeping your hands inside the shoulder pads, and they're getting a ton of those penalties. They're just outside the shoulder pad holding penalties, and procedure calls. You got to cut those things out. So going forward, both teams are going to be successful going to the playoffs. I wish them both luck.
No question about it. I mean, as you said, I think it's not good necessarily to get a loss, but as you said also, it could help you because now you see what it feels like to be behind, and you see what you did not do in this game, and what you did do, what of course is penalties galore, and you just can't win against teams that you're going to go up against in the playoffs. But it's good to get a bad taste in your mouth on occasion because you don't want to taste that again.
I'll tell you what, the best, I'll give you my own personal lesson in life, and this happened from us playing at my high school days at Mainland. We were undefeated till our Thanksgiving Day game, which was meaningless. But we got beat by Egg Harbor Township, who we just, we were getting penalties like crazy. We were just playing undisciplined. We're not playing the way we normally play, and they ended up beating us. And we all looked at each other and go, we thought we were invincible, and then we realized We fixed all of those mistakes on that moment. Right then we realized, you know what? We are not invincible, and we are not can be beat if we didn't make these issues. So moving on, we went to play Woodrow Wilson, and we fixed every one of those errors. Our coaches pinpointed every one of them, fixed them in practice that week. We had 2 weeks of practice, and we beat Woodrow Wilson 42-14 at Woodrow Wilson. So that was and that was a life lesson that I had always taken away. It was don't get too high, don't get too low. Stay disciplined and learn from all your mistakes.
And they probably will, because we know the kind of coaching staff that they have.
Great coaches.
Really good. So once again, Camden wins their 5th in a row. This one a big one. They knock off Rancocas Valley, previously unbeaten Rancocas Valley, who came in at 7-0. And of course, we're going to have to see how the power rankings shake out after this game. Something to keep in mind, power rankings are concerned. Thanksgiving Eve, they have a game in hand over some of these teams who will be playing this week and next week. So with this loss, it could shake up the power rankings considerably in Group 5.
Okay, so that even their Thanksgiving Day game has no bearing on what's going forward. So they've done what they had to do this year.
Done. So we'll see how it shakes out. And so that's going to be it for us until Thanksgiving Eve. I believe they play Burlington Township, is it? We'll have to check. But it starts with Burlington. That much I know. Sorry about that. So once again, the final score, 30-24, Camden, knocking off Rancocas Valley and knocking them from the ranks of the unbeaten. Dave Klemic, Mike Wolverton, and of course all the people here at the stadium who made room for us. It was a little difficult, but we want to thank them for their cooperation. Dee McCaskey, and of course everybody at Prime Events, we want to thank them as well. Once again, the final score from Camden. The Panthers knock off the Red Devils 30-24. For Dave, this is Tony. So long for now.